Marc Cuniberti here, host of Money Matters on 66 stations nationwide. So you want to go to Disneyland? We're going to tell you how to do it in just a minute or two. Stay tuned. Okay, first off, you have to go to Disneyland.com. It's kind of new to go to Disneyland. You just can't show up with a ticket, so go on your computer to Disneyland.com. You can also do it on your phone. It looks like this. When you go to the app or you go to the website, you're going to be looking for the calendar. The calendar looks like this. Okay, you see those little icons down on the calendar? One icon stands for Disneyland, the other stands for California Adventure. Nowadays, you have to make a reservation. You got to buy your ticket and make a reservation to go there. So first you look on the calendar at either on the app or on the web page. You'll see these icons. You have to look at the day you want to go, and you're looking for the icon of the park that you want to go to. The icon will say starting park, but that's only if you're going to hop between one park or the other. But in reality, I think the parks are too big for that. So just ignore the starting park. You're looking for the park that you want to go for to that day. Once you've found the day you want to go, look at the icon and see if that park is available. If it is, make a notation of that. Once you make a notation, go to the next day that you want to go to the park and see if the park's available. Either you go to Disneyland or you go to California Adventure. They both have different icons. Make sure that icon is on the day of the calendar that you want to go. Once you've written that down, let's say you're going to go 3 days, you're going to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, August 1st, 3rd, or 5th, or whatever. Write that down, and then you go to make a reservation. What you're actually doing is buying a ticket. Now, the website is kind of confusing, or it was. It said you had to buy a ticket and then make a reservation, which was kind of redundant. What they did is they kind of improved that. For now, if you buy a ticket, you will get a reservation. Now, when you buy a ticket, you will get a reservation, and you can see that because once you get a ticket, you will look on there and it'll say make a reservation on the ticket, and when you try to make a reservation, it'll say reservations are already made for this ticket. So it's kind of confusing, but just get a ticket and you're ready to go. Each person in your party must get a ticket. So you'll have to write down the name, the birth date, and the age of each person that you buy. So if you have 5 people, you're going to be buying 5 tickets, and all the tickets have to be on the same day. Once you buy the tickets, they'll show up on the screen and you can print a ticket. I recommend that you keep the email and give the email to every person in your party so they have it on their phone. Then you also print the tickets, so now you have a backup, a printed ticket, and the tickets also on your phone. Once you do that, you can log on to the app on your phone, which again looks like this. And the app will automatically pick up the tickets and recognize that you have tickets, and it'll confirm on the day that you are going to go to whatever park you're going to go to. So on August 1st, it says you have a Disneyland ticket. On August 3rd, you have a California Adventure ticket. And then on August 5th, you have another Disneyland ticket. I myself took a day off between parks. We took a Disneyland, took a day off, went to California Adventure, then went to Universal Studios because that was a busy week, and then we went back to Disneyland. So to reiterate, you're going to need a ticket, which gets you a reservation automatically, so don't get confused there, and then you're ready to go. If you do get confused, don't try calling. There's nobody you can call. I tried calling. It was a 4-hour wait when it said 2-hour waits, and I never did get through. Once you have your tickets with each person's name, there's 5 people, you have 5 tickets, you have 5 names, and you have 5 dates or 3 dates. Every person has the same date, then you got a ticket, you got a reservation, then you can book an airline flight. You're going to be going down to John Wayne Airport in Orange County, wherever you want to go. Airline flights are fairly cheap and very, very available. Not everybody's flying right now, so it should be very easy to go. As far as hotel is concerned, we stayed right across from the park at the Grand Legacy. There's about a dozen or two hotels that are really within 5 minutes of the park. They told me within 5 minutes. I figured it'd be 20 minutes. But no, they are right outside the gate. That's a little better than taking the shuttle, because then you have to take the shuttle in and you have to coordinate that. So we stayed at the Grand Legacy. It wasn't fancy, but it wasn't too expensive either. And they had other hotels that are right across the way there as well. So that's what we were looking for. If you want to take a shuttle, stay farther away from the park to get your cost down a little bit, you can do so by looking at some of the other ones. But make sure they have a shuttle. One place told us they had a shuttle, and it ended up to be the city bus. At that time, the Disneyland Hotel and the Pier Hotel were closed when I went. I went July 3rd to July 11th, I believe. And the Disneyland Pier Hotel was a long walk to get to the gate, and so I didn't want to do that. Grand Legacy was a good choice, but there are other ones right across the street from the entrance. When you get to the airport, you're probably going to want to rent a car. That's kind of interesting because most of the car terminal rentals that are in the airport are closed. So you might see 1 or 2 attendants there, but it was a long line. I will tell you, if you cross the street from the John Wayne Airport and go into the parking garage itself, there are agents in there, and that's what we did. Instead of waiting in the line where there was one person at the budget counter, we knew from our previous trip that we just walked down into the parking structure, walk across the street, go down below, and there was a reception desk in there for our rent-a-car. So you want to check that out. Rent-a-cars were easy to get, but again, there was nobody in the terminal because of COVID, so go across the street into the parking structure. You can get your car in there with a little wait. You can stay in the park at the hotel in the California Adventure, but that was like $800 a night, so that was way too much. When you go to a hotel that's close to the park, make sure you're facing the park, because we could see the fireworks that happen every night at 9:30. They go on for about 15 minutes or so. You have to be facing the park to see it. Most of the hotels have all the rooms facing the park, but you want to make sure you ask, can I have a room that's facing the park? You'll be able to see, I think, Space Mountain and the Matterhorn from there, and the fireworks show is a little bit off to your right over the top. Real close, great show. Nowadays, the park opens at 8, so I tried to get there at 7:30, but the kids slept in, so it was about a 5-minute walk. We got there at 7:30, one day 8:30. They say to avoid the 8 o'clock crowds. It wasn't that bad. You check your bag, you wait in the line about 5 or 10 minutes, then you got to show your ticket, either on your phone or give them the paper ticket, and in you go. The lines to get into the park on every day that I went, which was a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, July 5th, the 7th, and the 9th, were only about 10-minute wait. Not every park is full. They say they're up to 100% capacity, but they weren't. They weren't really, really full. California Adventure was a breeze to get in, and Disneyland was kind of okay. Once you get into California Adventure, you want to hit the rides that are most popular right away. So as soon as you get in, you go back to Space Mountain, you go back to the Matterhorn, you go back to Indiana Jones, you go back to the Haunted House, you go back to Pirates of the Caribbean. Get those out of the way because those are the most popular. Thunder Mountain and also Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain you probably want to do a little bit later in the day as it gets a little hot because you're going to get wet. Thunder Mountain is a real cool rumbling railroad, so that's good. But do those first thing in the morning. You'll see about anywhere from a half hour to 45-minute wait if you get there early. The Disneyland app, which should be on your phone, also gives you times on a map that shows you what the times in line are waiting. It looks like this. Now, whether you're at California Adventure or Disneyland, you pull up the respective map, and I can tell you that the times were listed on the map were a little longer than what the actual wait times were. So we saw 45 minutes, at least when I went. On the map, we got there was like 35 minutes. Also, they close rides a lot because of mechanical breakdowns. I guess they're starting up a lot of these rides. So if you see a ride that is closed, you might want to hang around because they don't close them very long. And when they do open them up, you're right in there. So if you see a closed ride, maybe get something to drink, etc., and see if you can catch one that's just opening up. For food, the restaurants, you have to make a reservation through the app. And the app on the reservation for food looks like this. What you do is you pick the restaurant that's closest to you, that you know you're going to be there, and you look at the restaurant, you look at the menu, then you order. You order on the app, and then you'll pay through Apple Pay or a credit card that's registered on your phone on the app. Once the order is in, it'll give you a time of when it'll be ready. You'll see, you'll go to a grill on the app, and it'll say the next available time for food is 1:15, and maybe it might be 11:30. So you enter it, and then you press go, and what'll happen is they will tell you when your food is ready to be prepared. But what'll happen is they'll say, your food is ready to be prepared. Are you here? So you say, yes, I'm here, because the app will pop up. Your food is ready to be prepared. Are you close? Yes, we're close. You punch that, and then bingo, it'll say, we're preparing your food. And in about 5 minutes, it'll say, come get your food. You walk up, you give them your order number, and they give you your food. You're already paid through Apple Pay or through a credit card on your phone. As far as masks is concerned, when we went between July 3rd and July 11th, there were no masks for people that were vaccinated, and they were not checking. I did see some masks, but for the most part, most people didn't have masks. None of the rides I saw were social distancing. They didn't separate seats or anything like that, except if you went in a roller coaster and there was a party of two and there was 3 seats, they would have probably only sat you with your 2. The best days to go is Monday. Monday is the least crowded. As you go further on in the week, it gets a little bit more crowded. The crowds in the morning are pretty light, not too bad. You get around 12, 1, 2 o'clock, they start to get really long. And then, of course, when the fireworks show gets going, the rides empty out. Usually after dinner, the kids get tired. So anywhere at 5, 6 o'clock after that, the rides lines knock way down. Now, there are 2 rides that you have to make a reservation for as well. All the other ones you just get in line, but there are 2 new ones. In Disneyland, it's called Rise of the Resistance. It's a Star Wars ride, and it is definitely worth going. So when you're ready to go on the Star Wars ride, you got to get ready the night before or the day before. You have to go to the app, and you look for this page that says Join Group. So you pick Join Group, and it'll say Disneyland or California Adventure. Now, there's only one ride in Disneyland that you can make a reservation for, and only one ride in California Adventure that you can make a reservation for. In Disneyland, it's Rise of the Resistance, the Star Wars ride. It's a really cool ride. But here's how it works. At 7 a.m., they take reservations on the app. They have another slot at 12. But at 7 a.m., you have to be on the app. So at 6:59, everybody in your party gets on the app, and you go to this page that says Join Group, and it'll say the next time for make reservations are 7 a.m. So at 6:59, you go on your phone, and you get to where it says Join Group, and it'll say the next reservation is at 7 a.m. And you pull down on the screen, and that constantly refreshes the screen, because you got to be quick, because the rides sell out in about 10 seconds. So what'll happen is you'll go down and you'll go pull down, pull down, pull down, pull down. And one of those pull downs, somebody in the group will get a little blue button down here that says Get Tickets or Join Group. You push on that immediately. I mean, you got to be quick, man. And then it'll say, shall all your parties join? Tickets for all your parties, you push yes. And then it'll give you a time and a group number. Now, if you miss the 7 a.m., which is easy to do, because if you're not fast, you'll miss it. By 7 o'clock a.m. in 15 seconds, it's all sold out. So remember, 6:59, everybody in your group's pulling it down, refreshing, and then all of a sudden, one of you, maybe 2 of you, will get a button that says, Get Tickets. Bang, hit that, and it'll say, everybody in your group, bang, hit that, and then you'll get it. If you get the Get Tickets button, you're probably going to get the join group with everybody in your group, so you're probably okay. But everybody's got to be on at 6:59, or you're not going to get in there. If you miss the 7 o'clock, don't worry. They'll say the next time reservations are made is at noon. Now, at noon, everybody's in the park, so not everybody is doing this. So at noon, we found it a lot easier because we did miss one at 7. So at 11:59, you got to be in the park with the app open on the join group picture, and then you keep refreshing and then to go through the same exercise. Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland. If you're going to California Adventure, you're looking for the Spider-Man group. So if you push California Adventure join group, it'll say Spider-Man. It'd be the same thing. The next reservation time is 7 a.m. So at 6:59, you start pulling and pulling and pulling. All the kids are doing it because they're quicker. And then there's the ticket, bang, join group, bang, and you're gone. If you miss that, it's at the 7 o'clock, again at 12 o'clock, at 11:59, you guys are all on this. You're pulling down, and you'll get it if you got 2 or 3 guys pulling down on there. If you're slow, you're not going to get it. And then at 12, it's a little bit easier, and you go bang. And then they give you a time to go, and you go, and those rides are really cool. Near the Grand Legacy rides outside the park, if that's where you stay, there are some stop and goes, no big supermarkets. Vons is down the street. There's a CVS. You'll have to take a car to go down there. They're kind of far away, and expect to pay a lot of prices around the park, as is expected. Everything in Disneyland is very expensive, but you can bring food and drink into the park. So go ahead and do that for sure. Disneyland is the master of the switchbacks. So even though the park is a couple of miles and walking, you're going to be walking a lot of switchbacks because that's how they do the lines, you know. So I'll plan on doing a lot of walking. We were walking anywhere from 4 to 6 miles a day. Those of you that want to go between 2 parks at one time, you have to buy the park hopper. I think that's really kind of a waste. Why would you do 2 parks? Then you have to make sure both icons are available on the calendar as well. So remember, on the icon on the calendar that you get on the app, or more importantly, maybe on the PC, it'll say starting park. That just means what park you want to go to. If you want to buy the park hopper, you're going to stay longer. But Disneyland and California Adventure are so big, doesn't matter. You're just going to go to one park or the other. By the way, those of you going to Universal, Universal is about an hour away, but you go in the morning, you're going to hit a little traffic about an hour and 5 minutes. When you get to Universal Studios, they have a standard parking for 30 or park closer for 40 if you can afford it. And then, of course, what you want to do is as soon as you get into Universal, you go all the way to the back and ride the Jurassic Park and the Mummy, and then you can come forward in the park as well. Okay, that's how you do Disneyland, man. It's a real kick. You got to go through some of these gyrations to do so. The websites are real confusing, but I finally figured it out. Okay, Marc Cuniberti is the YouTube channel. Thanks for listening, and go have a good time. Yeehaw. Hi-ho.